lift, and this is taking too long.
Alright, we're here. We're at Frosty's. I haven't seen this in about a week. I'm so in love. Alright, I got to show you. Frosty's going to run you through where we're at because so much work's been done already, but he'll explain it way better than me.
So it's all in there mounted like properly. So like I'm still yet to put a video up which will have more in depth as well, but I just haven't edited it up. Being I've had to move shops and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's all in there. The last couple of days I spent making a custom intake. So it's like mega tight fit, still runs the electric throttle body and stuff, all the stock fuel rail, so essentially it's stock replacement manifold, so you'd be able to use that on a lot of other things if I remade some of them.
Because it didn't, because the standard one, what people didn't see is we wouldn't have been able to have a headlight.
Well, it didn't even have any of this. So
yeah,
it didn't have, this is all stock up front end, so I've been using that to kind of make sure everything else fits, because I can make a tube front on it, but then it's not that cool, because it's all just real custom. Then I want it to be like a stock fitting. So like all that fit through well, like the headlights fit back in like standard. And then yeah, like I've got all the other stuff deleted off. There's pretty much an unnecessary pile that I pulled off the engine down there.
And we're now officially a 5-stud.
Yeah.
Front and rear. And just got to put you've just got to weld up where the discs go on, hey?
Yeah, that's the little caliper mounts pretty much. That was the only difference that they didn't have on that. But as far as it goes on the front there, it's full GTI struts and everything like that to drilled out the top to run the top hat, because the original Up style is like a donut, like 2 donut sandwich, like a Commodore style, with like the one nut on top that holds it all in. So I got rid of all that, and then yeah, just re-drilled the holes for the struts. So it's legit a full GTI pretty much now.
Yeah,
like you'd be able to buy GTI coilovers and be able to put it in this thing. So
that's the gnarliest part, because it's actually going to handle better. Like Volkswagen did a miraculous job making this cheap and affordable. Like that was its purpose.
Yeah.
So it was never going to be a performance car. Even the turbo version is still a 1 litre 3-cylinder. So at least now we've got the power and the suspension to go with it.
And like, as far as like parts go, like if you ever break an engine mount, it's stock Polo GTI engine mount. There's no custom whatever. Like it's all literally stock replacement parts that I'm trying to use on it to be able to do
That's going to be really funny if I have to go to Super Cheap Auto for parts and they're like, no, it's not.
Just go to Volkswagen. You know, this thing would be cool taking this thing for a service in Volkswagen.
Oh, take it to
Book
Volkswagen.
it in for a service and they'll be like, what's that?
Just like, what the fuck have you actually
I was going
done?
to do it with my Subaru that I put the Honda engine in, but I never got around to it.
So Frosty will have way more in depth on how he actually made the engine mounts happen, but it's fit in, like the rails and everything, it's the same distance.
Yeah, literally it's GTI subframe, which had the same bolt hole distance and everything. I literally just bolted it straight in from that. So as far as the engine sits, it's exactly the same as it was in the GTI, because I used the bottom mount that kind of gave me the right distance and then just centered it off that. So like as far as all the engine and drive shaft, the way they all sit, it's all the exact same geometry as it was in the Polo that we pulled it out of. So yeah, and then once we get a baseline, we can actually start doing performance stuff then. So we'll be able to do a bigger injectors and stuff like that. Because
I'm happy to leave it stock because it's going to be way faster than it was. But we're not leaving it because now it's in there, we can actually modify to make it way faster.
Oh yeah, it'd be sick.
Did we find out, because the internet's actually been really confusing, did we find out like what the actual curb weight of this is? Because there's so many different figures.
Not really.
We don't know, hey? It's definitely going to be lighter than the car it came out of.
We'll put it over the scales when it's done.
Yeah, let's do that. And actually find out a power to weight.
It's going to be a tad bit heavier than standard, but it essentially, I think it'll be lighter than what the stock Polo GTI is. Yeah. Because the chassis, like the frame, is lighter than a Polo, but then we're just putting the running gear back in, so it'll be just heavier than the Up, but lighter than the Polo. So
yeah, that'll work.
That's what I reckon. So.
And what we figured out, which is going to be absolutely epic, is this will be the world's fastest road-registered, legal Volkswagen Up in the world. So Charlie's got the VR5 version, but that's a full-blown drag car, and he's been a champ. This whole build, he sent us so many photos from when he did the VR5 swap. So he can have the world's fastest Up on the drag strip, but we're going to have the fastest road legal one. So, Mighty Car Mods, you better hurry up because we're having an up off. All right, if you want a more in-depth on how this went in there, definitely check out Frosty's channel because he's going to have the ins and outs of how it's done. Mine's going to be a very rushed version, but definitely go check it out. Follow Frosty.
Yeah, I'll have my whole intake, like literally this is a stock runner off the stock manifold. I cut that off, used new piping and all that sort of stuff, so I'll show you what I did with that.
Yeah, because that whole thing in here is custom, so
yeah.
This is going to be back on the road soon, but the next video we'll have it on the road, we'll have it running.
Yeah, it's just literally wiring pretty much from here on out. It's just all I've got to go to the shell which we've got stored at another place, pull the wiring and then just do a big swap over with the looms and that's it.
And then we're going to take it to the track.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to get the world title for fastest road registered up in Australia. So check out Frosty, definitely subscribe so you don't miss any more updates on the up. And then as soon as it's done, it's actually going to get a wrap. So that's going to be pretty unreal when we release the photos of the wrap, because the wrap's going to be fucking pretty out there. Yeah. It's going to be pretty good. You definitely will not miss this car. So subscribe, check out Frosty, and we'll see you in the next one.